All right, ready?
Yep.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. We are here again from HQ3, me and Francis again, for Roan still has COVID, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Things have changed things haven't changed in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's okay. We're gonna rip this shit.
Yeah, I feel like people get mad that we bank the episodes, but also it's really that or Zoom. There's no other options.
Yeah.
Because everyone travels.
Everyone
People get
travels. Roan is a very highly in demand guy at this company. He has another podcast with a very troublesome NBA player.
Yeah. Just a guy with a real attitude problem. You're going on the road with those foreplay guys, great guys all around.
Yes.
Respectable guys. But the thing is, yeah. So we were going to have to bank it anyway, but you guys are both going on. You guys are both leaving tomorrow. So
dude, I got to tell you something. On this.
I'm here. I'm always here.
Foreplay trip. I'm just going to help with the Barstool Classic because they're a little shorthanded. Frankie and Riggs can't go to this one. So I'll be there with Trent and Hannah Cook and some other people. And Trent did something when we were out in South Dakota, North Dakota, that trip that just reminded me of you. We were on the road for 4 days, driving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of miles, and really spending a lot of time together, bonding, having each other's backs. We get to it's the last night. We're in North Dakota. We're in Bismarck.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all staying at an Airbnb, just one house, bunk beds, bonding, whatever. We pull the RV in, we unload our crap, the RV takes off, and we figure out where we're going to dinner.
Yeah.
And it's the last night of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Tie a bow on this thing. Celebration. Goodbye, everyone. It's been a great time.
Yeah.
And we're at the house and we're waiting for our Ubers. And Trent goes, I'm not coming to dinner. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, I'm not going to go. And you can't even ask him why.
Yeah.
He just goes, I'm just not. And I've never had that be an answer.
Yeah.
Where for me to ask for more information would have made me the asshole.
Yeah.
But he stayed home and he ordered a pizza delivered. Ate it. We got back. He was chilling. And that was it. The rest of us went out to the final dinner. And Trent wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it was okay. And I asked Frankie, I was like, does that happen a lot? And he was like, yeah, sometimes he's just not in the mood. And he'll just tell you, I'm not going.
Well.
I've never heard of that being. Dude, when I get out of something, the things that I feel that I have to come up with.
Oh, yeah.
To justify to people why I'm not coming.
Yeah.
It almost feels arrogant.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm so sorry I can't make it. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of deathts in the family.
Yeah.
Over the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Have you ever seen that old Dane Cook bit where he's talking about the friend who invited him to the party? And he talks about that and then he's like, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll definitely be there. And he's like, I'm never going to see this guy again. They were like at the grocery store. And then he sees the friend again a week later and he's like, you didn't make the party. It's like, we were all waiting for you to come. And he's like, you'll never believe. And he talks about, he's like, my car, I'm driving. We hit a rock. Car flips over. He's like, it's really funny.
Yeah. And then the great, I think you should leave sketch is similar to that.
Which one's that?
Season 1, when they go to the party and they're late and the guy's like, why should we tell them why we're late or something like that? And he's like, they go their separate ways. And then he's like, yeah, I'm sorry we're late. We just like, there was this we were involved in this hit and run.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, what? And then he starts getting mad at him for like asking for more. And he's like, the cops showed up, but they didn't care at all. This person just didn't matter.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I do the same exact shit. I can never tell someone. It's funny because you realize if you just say that, if you just tell the truth, people don't care.
No, not
They're
only
like, oh, okay.
Not only do they not care, but then here's the weird part, right? I'm at a point now where when I actually do show up to something, I almost feel like I deserve praise.
Yeah.
Almost like you guys don't understand how close I was to not making this.
Yeah.
And it took a lot for me to stay true to our plan.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, it's no new information here, but it almost never feels like the wrong decision to not go.
No, never.
At this point.
Never.
Especially, I would think for you, because you just seem so happy at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's never once been a moment. I don't know. I guess there's times where I'm like, oh, that would have been fun. I could have done that. I also don't really do a lot of things for fun.
Do you ever feel guilty that you live in New York City and just don't take advantage of 99.9% of the amazing things that are offered here?
No, not at all, because there's actually not that many things. Like there's like
there's
true.
Like
museums and parks
and Broadway shows and great theater and musical acts and restaurants and weird cultural things that you just don't have in any other part of the world.
Yeah, I guess there's good restaurants and theater and stuff, but I don't like theater, and I'm not obsessed with food like you guys are.
I went and saw John Mulaney and Nick Kroll in Oh Hello on Broadway.
Yeah.
And it was probably the single best thing I ever saw in New York.
Yeah. I mean, shit like that's cool, but I do stuff like that. I would go see something like that.
That was Broadway. That's theater.
Yeah. But I'm not like a musical. Like, I'm not going to go see fucking Wicked.
I'm not saying we should go see Wicked. Steve Carell's playing in a drama on Broadway right now. Should we go?
No, I have no interest in doing that.
What if we went, though?
I can think of like 10 things I'd rather do than that.
You wouldn't do any of those 10 things, though.
But no, I would. I do.
There's not 10 things that you're going to do ahead of that. There's one thing.
Gun game, team deathmatch, search and destroy. Search and destroy hardcore. Resurgence.
I put that all under the umbrella of stay home, play video games. Come on, it's a limited run. Let's go see Steve Carell on Broadway.
No, I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the offer.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't going to.
Yeah, we were never going to do that.
We were going to split it, the cost.
I assumed I would be paying.
I'm not gifting you a night out on the town. I'm courting
but also
you.
Part of the thing with that is I think it comes from living that we used to live in Hell's Kitchen, and the idea of even going close to Times Square.
You got to get over the Times Square part of it. We're not going to Times Square. We're quickly navigating Times Square to get into an air-conditioned theater. If
I could stay away from Times Square for the rest of my life, I would.
Yeah.
And even having to just pass through.
Fine.
Like the fact that I only ever had to do Caroline's like twice before it closed.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. How about this?
Thank God.
How about this? Here's a middle ground. Do you like art at all?
No.
Do you at all?
No.
Not even. What if you saw like Van Goghs and Rembrandts? And
I've seen the Mona Lisa. I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah, that's too much though. That's too much.
Yeah, I like going to a museum, walking through a museum. I don't mind it.
How are you saying that?
Museum. Sorry, because I pronounce it museum.
Why would you do that?
Because that's just how I grew up pronouncing it. That's how everyone I knew pronounced it. But then I met other people and they're all like museum. Like I don't know how do you pronounce it? How is it supposed to be pronounced?
Museum.
Museum.
There's an E in there.
Museum. Yeah. See, I always pronounced it museum. That's how if I called my parents right now, they would say museum.
I grew up pronouncing it room instead of room, and broom instead of broom, and roof instead of roof.
Okay, well, all those sounded fine until you said rough.
And maybe I didn't do that.
Like room instead of room is fine. rough instead of roof is just not how it's pronounced.
I didn't do that. I just said that because I know some people do, but I
Yeah.
don't. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
The point being, enough people corrected me that I changed it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do there, but I don't remember how people pronounce it, so I had a hard time changing it.
Fine. The Frick Collection on the Upper East Side is a small museum, and it only would take us, we could be there for 45 minutes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 10. 45 is too long.
You need 45 minutes.
45 is too long to be walking around and looking at
It's
art.
small. It's a house. It's a mansion.
Yeah, I'd rather go to like a big one though. I want to go to like
you
the
would want to?
Smithsonian or something.
No, because there's too much and it all starts to blend together.
like that shit I like. I go into the Smithsonian or like the
Guggenheim?
They had some good museums in Boston.
We could go to the Guggenheim. I don't think you're going to like that. We could go to the MoMA.
No, I don't want to. I'm not going to like any of them.
You would like the Frick because it's
like as much as I would like to see.
it's like a greatest hits museum.
The NASA museum in Huntsville, Alabama.
I've been to the Air and Space Museum at DC. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know what? That wasn't. I didn't
yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
Actually, I went to a museum I went to the Smithsonian with Derek Drescher and Mook in DC. We went to the history one, and we tried to go to the Air and Space one, but the line was insane. You had to make reservations.
I didn't love it. It was a little too child oriented.
See,
there were a
that's what I
lot
like.
of touch this button and do this thing.
I don't like that
I didn't
stuff.
like that. I had to wait behind a 5-year-old for my turn.
What's the one where you
They're
go
just
and you
mashing.
touch?
Like you'd never land the lunar module.
What's the one what's the one with the animals? Is that the history?
Yeah, it's probably the Museum of Natural History.
Yeah, that one was pretty sick.
In New York,
No, in DC.
they've got one here.
It had a big ass grizzly bear.
Live?
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, so you like animals.
No. Why would it be live? Wasn't a zoo.
Well, the Museum of Natural History here in New York had an exhibit of birds of paradise or something.
Oh, and they were real birds.
And they were real birds flying around.
Yeah, no, this was.
They also
dead.
had a butterfly exhibit that I'll never forget. It was amazing. And you walked in and they had sort of misty, leafy plants soaring towards the top of this light-filled greenhouse. And you felt transported into the rainforest as butterflies flapped around and some even landed on you, I think. And
Yeah,
they
I
were
like
all different
some shit
colors.
like that, but it's got to be. I got a very specific. Like I don't want to go see art. I don't want to go see sculptures. I saw Abe. That was sick.
You saw the Lincoln Memorial?
Yeah, Abe was cool.
It's amazing.
That was cool to see. I've seen it before, but I saw it again
It's worth going.
in my adult years, and that was sick. Declaration of Independence was sick.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're like, well, it's not even the real Declaration of Independence, so who gives a fuck?
We talk about 9/11 a lot. What if we went to the 9/11
I've
memorial?
seen that.
Oh, I have not.
You've never seen the 9/11
You know what
memorial?
happened, dude? Is
You're-
when it opened, people were so.
Haven't you lived here for like 12 years?
Let me finish my excuse. People, when it opened, I was here when it opened,
Yeah.
and
You
everyone
were here
said,
when it happened.
I'm going to ask you for a moment of silence as I finish talking about a very tragic moment in my life. When it opened,
Continue. I'm just grabbing the water.
everyone said you can't get in. The reservations are forever. The lines are too long. All this, you can't go.
Yeah.
I always just thought I never let go of that thought. Even though I'm sure
Okay, so
now.
I've never been to the museum. I've been to the memorial. As we were talking about the memorial.
I haven't been I've been down there, but
You've
I
never
haven't
even seen
I've
like
not
the holes?
I haven't walked around the water.
I've seen that
fountains.
like 10 times.
Really?
Yeah, and I've lived here for 4 years.
Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go to the museum.
Why would I go? It's not something I'm like dying to get back to.
Well, we talked about it enough. I think the event it deserves our further understanding.
I actually went to that with Roan.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's pretty solemn.
No, we just walked by it. It's like I've walked by it. Like I've never like saw it. I've never
Then
like
maybe I have.
I've never like gone. You would know. It's 2 massive holes in the ground,
I've walked by
and you want to know
that
what's
big
down there.
white sort of bone-like structure.
The train station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right
Mall.
next to it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like, you know what I like? I like going to like Hall of Fames. That's cool.
Oh.
Like me and Mook went to the Hockey Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
I went to that
was
with
sick.
Brandon.
But that's the thing is like none of that shit's real. They have the Stanley Cup there, and you're like, is that the Stanley Cup? And like, it's the real Stanley Cup. And then you see a little kid like driving a toy police car all over the Stanley Cup, and you're like, yeah, that's not the Stanley. We could pick that thing up and walk out of here, and they'd be like, just get the other one. Just bring out one of the dozen that we have in the back.
They did a pretty damn good job of creating a replica because I found that the names the names are real.
Yeah.
They're hammering on all the names of all the players.
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to run out of space.
They do run out of space. It's rings.
Oh, so they're just adding more layers to it.
They take the rings off and they put them in the Hall of Fame, and then they put on top the new rings.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
That's cool.
Not positive, but I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Because the Stanley Cup has been around for a while.
Yes, it has.
And they have to put every person's name on it.
Lord Stanley.
Yep. Lord Stanley's going to be, I guess he already was in the building.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay, that's good that you have no qualms about missing out on the feast of culture.
Well, like I'm trying to think of what other
outside your door.
museums I like.
You can't keep saying it that way. I'm sorry. It's just unbelievably annoying.
The kind of museums that I'm into are, I like the Hockey Hall of Fame. Like the Hockey Hall of Fame was sick. Like they had a lot of cool shit there.
If there were a fishing museum, we could go to that.
I'm sure there is. Let's see what other ones. Like I like the airplane. I like the air and space shit. I wanted to see that, but the line was too long. I like the animals. I like that stuff. I like when they have replicas of the size. What is that? Fly fishing museum in the Catskills. Oh, boom. Very fun.
Boom. That's up my way.
Yeah.
Get up
about
there
2.5 hours. Yeah. Catskills are great. Drake said he's got a boy up there that we could take us fishing.
Did he?
Yeah, our buddy Drake.
He actually said that?
Yeah, he said if we ever wanted to float the Catskills, his buddy could take us.
Like
I'm sure his buddy wouldn't want to do that.
You never know.
It is kind of funny though,
Drake's
to just like pin that on one of your friends.
Well,
I got a friend up there who would take you guys, and then he's like, "No, I fucking wouldn't. I'm not gonna go out fishing with these guys for fun."
Well, we would pay him.
Yeah, you would pay him.
All right.
I could probably teach him a thing or two, honestly.
You think?
No,
me neither.
Definitely not. He was probably unbelievably good at fishing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Have you read
No.
Hemingway's
just right away?
Big Two-Hearted River?
No, I've started it.
Have you read the Nick Adams stories?
No. I haven't read any Hemingway, to be fully honest.
I've
started A Man in the Sea, The Man in the Sea.
Old Man in the Sea.
Old Man in the Sea. I've started that a lot. I have it on my Kindle.
It's only like 85
It's like 100 pages. Yeah, it's pretty short.
But the Big Two-Hearted River is about fly fishing.
Yeah.
And you'd like it. I'm not just saying that.
No, I know I would like it.
You should commit yourself. They're short stories. They're not hard to get through.
Yeah.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah.
I'm trying to suggest things that I think you would like.
Yeah, but everyone always tries to do that. But I have things that I like, and I like them, and I do them all the time.
I think we all just want to see you add some more dimension to your life.
Yeah, but like I'm satisfied.
Yeah, but there's satisfied, and then there's
really nothing that I'm like dying to change. Maybe if I had a maid, that would be cool.
Yeah, actually, I 100% agree with that. And I almost want to give you a birthday present of maid visits.
Yeah, I would love a maid.
Because I know that as soon as you have her come one time, you're going to be like, I cannot live without this.
Yeah, I'd like a maid. I'd like a...
Why haven't you done a maid?
Because I don't want to spend money for someone to clean my tiny apartment. I can clean it myself. It takes
you don't
30
clean
minutes.
it though. You don't clean the bathroom. It's the bathroom.
I do clean the bathroom.
No, you don't. You're
I
not
do.
on your hands and knees.
Yes, I
scrubbing
do. I
the grime
clean
and grit.
I clean it constantly.
Do you have cleaning fluid and solution?
Yeah.
What sort of suds and stuff do you have?
Spray.
What kind?
I
Do you
don't
have
know.
bathroom cleaner? Do you have toilet cleaner? Do you have bleach?
I've cleaned my toilet. I cleaned my entire bathroom like a week ago. I scrubbed the entire tub.
It's just they're professional. That's their calling.
Yeah, and they're also in your apartment, which is annoying.
Leave for a moment.
I don't want to.
They're there for 2 hours. Not even.
2 hours is a long time to be away from home. Yeah, it's their calling.
You cleaning your bathroom is taking a job away from someone that loves to do that.
What do they take? Another 5% of my income? I'm not adding anyone else to the team. Do they have to be in my weekly meetings? I do everything I want to do. I play video games. I played video games this morning at like 8 a.m. So I woke up at 5:30 and then I got out of bed and I was like, well, I guess I'll get my day started. And then I was like, with what? What am I going to do? I have nothing to do. I watched 2 YouTube videos, ate breakfast, drank coffee. And then I was like, I guess I'll play some Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And then I recorded Dog Walk. And then I did this. And now I'm going to go home, probably play more video games, and then watch the NHL Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. It hasn't happened for us yet. And then I'm going to go to bed.
All right, fine. Look,
Like, that's a good day. That's a solid day. Like, what would you add into that mix? Because that's an ideal day for me.
I'm not telling you to go to a museum today.
No spots tonight. Thank God. Needed a break. Right back at it tomorrow.
Oh, man. I don't know.
My best days are like,
you know what it is, dude?
What?
I want to have shit to talk to you about.
bro.
And I
Fall
come to
back.
your side of the aisle. Hey, how are the video games? How's the fishing?
Yeah.
And I can't be like, have you seen any good art installations lately? Have you read any good
who
books?
could you talk about that with?
Roan?
Roan? You think Roan's going to see art?
Yes, I do.
No, he's not.
Yes, he does.
No,
he does
he
cool
isn't.
shit. He's going off to Japan
Roan does cool shit. He goes to restaurants, which is cool.
and travels and has
I
culturally
travel.
expansive.
All I travel more than Roan.
No.
He just travels for fun.
Well,
When I travel by force.
huh. Fair enough. Fair enough. What are you eating these days?
A lot of fucking turkey sandwiches.
Are you?
Yeah, and
You
I like
making
them. No.
Where are you buying from?
West 4th Marketplace.
What do they put on those sandwiches?
Turkey, lettuce, tomato, mayo. And they just started adding mayo finally. It's a big deal.
They weren't before that?
They weren't, and I would write in the notes, add mayo, and they never would.
What about
So I had to buy my own mayo.
what about some oh my god, you would put mayo on sandwiches that were getting and these are getting delivered to you?
Yes. That's a part of my life that I agree needs to change. But it's tough because it's like you go out, you buy all these groceries, and then you go on the road the next day, and then you come home and your fucking kitchen stinks like old.
I'm not telling you to
vegetables.
cook. I'm saying go walk down the street to get
Oh,
your
I
sandwich.
walk down the street and get shit all the time.
Yeah.
I go to the deli right by my apartment and I get food.
What
but
about some-
they don't have good food.
No.
And I hate to tell them because they love me and I love them, but
Hmm.
I have a hard time telling. They don't have iced coffee. All they have is hot coffee. Let's get some iced in there.
You got plenty of good coffee spots around you.
I do. But I don't like going to those places. They freak me out.
Why?
I don't like going into those like coffee shops where it's like everyone's on their laptop and then they all look at you when you walk in.
What do you mean?
It's like very
no, they're not
intimate.
looking at you when you
And then
walk
the
in.
and then the menu is like a puzzle. You guys have just coffee, right? Just normal. I'll just do one normal. Just throw a couple ice cubes in there. Ooh, no, that's cold brew. Well, I don't want a cold brew. I just want a nice coffee.
Okay, you can ask for a nice coffee. They're
Yeah.
not gonna be puzzled by that.
It's a little intimate.
Too intimate? That's
It's a little
the
much.
issue.
It's a little much.
Hmm. What about a plant?
I thought about it.
Would you get a plant for your home?
I thought about getting a plant. Yeah.
I think you'd do well with a plant
I don't really have anywhere to put them though.
near the window.
That's where I put my fishing gear. That's my gear storage area. Because I don't have a lot of space. There's not a lot of storage space in my apartment, so that area is full storage.
Do you like going to sporting events?
Yeah, depends. I did, and then I started gambling, And now I'm like, well, I want to watch all the games at the same time. Like the idea of going to a football game at 1 p.m. It's like, well, then I'm going to miss every other 1 p.m. game.
We used to play pool all the time.
We did.
And would I be able to get you back into that?
Yeah, I would play pool. I mean,
I'd like to do that.
I'd go to a hall.
I'd like to do that.
I've texted you before being like, let's go play pool. And then you're always like, oh, totally forgot that I have Pilates today.
Or I'm at the museum.
Yeah. I've been on my way to play pool with you and you've canceled.
That's not true.
I remember
you're wrong about
it was
this.
when I lived.
I stopped asking you to play pool because you didn't want to play with me anymore.
I remember walking down the 6th floor walk up that we used to live in. And I remember you calling me and going, hey, are you on your way? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting in the Uber right now. And you're, I think I'm just going to go back to my apartment and go to the gym, honestly. I'll see you at the stand later. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll cancel the Uber.
I'm sorry.
Vivid memories of that.
I'm sorry.
Kept me up at
I
night.
remember doing that too.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Also, I mean, pool's fun, but it's a fucking $300 a day hobby. If you could play at like a bar.
We go for 2 hours. We're not really drinking anymore.
Oh, one of us isn't. One of us is drinking enough for two of us.
I won't be. I'll come.
But it's not even that. Like, you're still drinking. You're just not drinking alcohol. Diet Coke at that place is $12.
Diet Coke doesn't cost the same as a beer. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm struggling.
God forbid a man wants a 0-0.
I'm struggling to write a new hour.
I haven't even tried to write new jokes in the last month.
I got one that's good.
I got one.
I got one that's good.
I got one too.
But I don't know.
I had one that I wrote down 2 nights ago, and it's not great, but it was the best I could think of. It was about the incidental charges at hotels.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
And how they charge you for incidentals in case you throw your head through the wall or something like that. And then the joke was that's the only place where they charge you for something in advance before you actually do
they
it.
Charge you in case things go really wrong.
Yeah, and then I was saying that would be like if you walked into Walmart and they said we're just going to charge you $3 million, and then we'll work backwards from there based on what you didn't buy.
We'll subtract all the things that aren't on fire when you leave the store.
Yeah, so that was...
All right, we're workshopping here.
That was the big idea.
You can use that fire part if you want.
No, to be honest, I zoned out as soon as you said it. No, I'm kidding. It was a joke. I thought we were workshopping. Yeah, that was the big one. But then it's like also all that shit, like that's probably been done.
You say that about everything. It doesn't matter. Everybody's told all the jokes.
It doesn't matter for everyone aside for the people that watch my clips specifically.
Well, make it your own.
Because they like to really dig. And
if you start telling truths
Jim
about
Jeffries
yourself,
said this 45 years ago in his first album.
If you start telling truths about yourself, then nobody can really... People might say it, but they're wrong.
Yeah. I'm more of an observational guy. I like to talk about the world around me.
Well, I hope you evolve.
No, I'm kidding. I have plenty of jokes about myself.
I
don't really have a lot of that was the first joke idea I've had in a long time. I have shit written down. Like that's nothing. Like, this is just a dude in the penalty box with a headset on.
What?
It's like when you watch hockey games and someone gets a penalty for some reason, there's just another dude in the penalty box wearing a headset.
And what's he doing?
That's the joke. I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, and what are we at right now?
25.
This is hard.
I feel like we're getting somewhere.
You do?
I'm just going. All
right. Well, that's what Roan says to do, is to just start talking. You
gotta listen to our old Roan advice on how to do a podcast.
Let's channel Roan.
Oh, this one's good. Pedophile who tells people he's just a freak. It's a zinger.
Don't kink shame me.
Yeah, or not even that, but people are like, oh, it's like, yeah, he's kind of a freak.
Huh.
Like someone telling, like if that would be like if I was a pedophile and you were like, yeah, he's kind of freaky, he's kind of a freak, but secretly you're like, he fucks kids.
We always get back to fucking kids.
Oh, it's an easy topic.
I always wondered if there was something about like within the pedophile community, are there those who are still homophobic? Like, do they judge other pedophiles for fucking boys? It's like, well, look, I get that I'm a pedophile, but at least I'm straight about it.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. I think there's jokes about that.
Are there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I had one about pretty privilege with my dogs. You know how people are talking about pretty privilege? About pretty privilege and how it's like people are nicer. This is it. This is how it's done. You start from nothing. And you hope to find
people
something.
Are nicer to people who are pretty?
Who are more attractive. Just like in passing. Sure. Like if you had an attractive Uber driver and they were stopping and starting the car at a very aggressive motion, you wouldn't be like this fucking animal.
Yeah. Well, I don't say anything anyway. I get that. I get that a lot. I have people who are just fucking speeding up when the car ahead of us has already stopped. Yeah. Brake lights, you see them, and they get close, and then they slam on the brakes. Yeah. And then, before the car has moved, they start inching. Yeah. Inch, stop. Yeah. Inch, stop.
It's brutal.
Inch, stop.
It's my biggest pet peeve on
These
earth.
tend to be people that hail from countries that are very warm.
Yeah.
Very warm. Yeah, I'll just say that.
So,
in those rides, I think to myself, I'm giving this guy 4 stars.
Yeah, I do. I say that, and then I end up getting out and give him 5 stars, and I tip him
100% of the time. I give them 5 stars.
I go, well, he didn't know. But I'm in the back.
It's not for me to make this guy's
shooting out of my ears.
It's not for me to make this guy's job harder.
No, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not gonna get him fired.
I think that some people, not only do they say fuck this guy, they don't give him 4 stars. They give him 1 star. I think there's a lot of binary people out there.
I think it's a lot less people than you'd think.
Bro, I think some people, and I could almost understand it. They're saying the ride's either good or it's bad.
I had a dude
and if it's good, I'm giving 5, and if it's bad, I'm giving 1.
Oh, and you had a guy, didn't you have a guy that was drunk and you had to like get out like in the Holland Tunnel or some shit? Yeah.
What?
Did you give that guy 1 star?
I think
5. 5, yeah.
Your driver?
Yeah, visibly it smelled like alcohol.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think you were with Tommy Smokes. I remember when that happened. Yeah, that's a scenario where I would throw the 1 star because now you're like, okay, well, you're putting me in danger.
Yeah, right.
But the joke is that I have 2 dogs. One of them is a bad dog who bites people. He's not allowed to meet new people anymore because he bites everyone that he meets that's new.
Yeah, that's bad. Why did you let him get that far?
Yeah, he's old now. He's like 10.
Has he always been doing it though?
He started when he was young. He's not going to change. That's for sure.
Why didn't you nip that in the bud?
We tried multiple times and it didn't work. Nothing took.
You didn't give him like a little spankaroo?
No, we have a zapper. Nothing worked. He thinks he's defending the house. And
what kind of dog?
He's a mix. And then we have another dog who is a very good dog. Like wants to be pet, friendly with all other people and other dogs that she meets. That dog, ugly. That's all hell. And then the bad dog is very cute. And everyone loves the cute one. Pretty privilege. It's a bad dog. It's a good looking dog. The other dog is the kind of dog that you go home and you pet it once.
Well, this to me is a great.
Good to see you again.
It's a. Yeah.
And you get her breath is awful. Get her away from me.
It sounds like you're not taking care of the good dog very well.
No, we take very good care of it.
Do you ever give it brushies?
Yeah.
Really?
Obviously.
For its breath?
Yeah.
Because maybe if you gave it the aesthetic care that it deserves.
Yeah.
Gave it a little bit of a makeover.
Well, we've given her haircuts and then it comes back and it looks worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Because nobody knows how to do it properly?
Yeah. She tries her best though. She's a good dog. Great dog.
Yeah. Right.
Just not really, not one that you'd like see on the street and be like, oh, I gotta pet that dog.
Right. Yeah, I understand. Right. I gotcha. I'm picking up what you're putting down there.
Yeah, so there's maybe something there.
That's pretty good.
Little wordy. Took us a while to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good 10-minute chunk though.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, so now I have material. Obviously, I have an hour of material. I have over an hour.
Right.
But it's like I did the Don't Tell set, and that was like my best 10, pretty much my best 10 minutes. There's a couple jokes that could have been in there that I didn't put in there. But those are the jokes that I was excited about. And then I got the other 50 or 40, and those are all good too, but they're done. They've been doing them forever.
Right.
And so now I'm like, now I did spots this week and I did the 10 minutes. Just did it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
Waste of
so
time.
pointless.
Yeah. Do you
like just making sure they still work? They've already been recorded.
Yeah. Hey, here's a question.
Okay.
How much do you worry about bad neighborhoods? Do you ever find yourself in a bad part of town, bad neighborhood?
Not so much in New York. New York, I don't really worry about it because I kind of have this whole philosophy that it's like it's so busy. Like I'll walk down 7th Street at any time of the day. I don't give a shit about that. No one's gonna kill me when there's a traffic built up next to us. But
that's what you think.
That's what I think. But I think it's a good way to think. When I went to do Gardini's podcast when he lived in Queens.
Yeah.
And I got off took the train there. And I got off the train, and there was a group of fellas that were a little intimidating. They all had shiesties on.
Oh, really?
So it was a pack of, and I had my headphones in, noise canceling.
Yeah.
And I turned around. I didn't know anyone was behind me, and I turned around, and they were close enough to just give me a little poke. Like they were like in my asshole. And
Wow.
I turned around, and there's 10 like teens with shiesties on right behind me. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That was like, I almost ran, but instead I decided to do the whole like cross the street, and then they crossed the street too.
Oh boy.
And then I was like, oh, so I'm going to get mugged for sure. And then that was when I really was like really close to running.
Really?
Really close to running. And then I decided to just turn around and walk. And then I was like, if they follow me if I turn around and they keep following me, then I'll run. And they didn't follow me.
Wow.
I ran once in Chicago. When I lived in Chicago, I ran.
Really?
Yeah.
And were you right to run?
I think so. I sprinted.
I've never run except from like monsters in the woods.
Yeah, I've ran in the woods for sure. But this was like a full-on sprint.
Wow. Damn.
I was walking in like Chicago. The thing about Chicago is that they say that the crime is making its way into the non-crime filled neighborhoods.
Really?
Yeah.
A reverse gentrification.
Yeah. So I was walking in a neighborhood that was fine. It's not a bad neighborhood. And there was a dude that came up to me and he was like, hey, do you know where the train station's at? And I was like, oh yeah, it's just right up there. Just take a right here. And then he continued to walk. And then he didn't take a right. He did not take a right at the where I told him to take a right. And then he started walking really slow, like he was waiting for me to get in front of him so that he could take me from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to a point where I slowed down. And I was like, this is weird. And then I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, there's no one around. There's not a car driving. There's no one around us.
Right. Nobody.
And
yeah.
So he's slowing down. And then it got to a point where we're just not moving. Like he's like 10 feet in front of me and we're just not moving. So then I crossed the street and then I looked and he started crossing the street and then I took off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone in the wind.
Wow.
Flew.
And did you ever look back to see if he was running too?
I looked back and he was still behind me and then I beat him.
Wow.
He couldn't catch me.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, it's good then that I made you get rid of those beat to shit sneakers.
No, those were great running shoes.
No, they weren't.
These are good running shoes.
Those are
These
good running shoes.
I got these when I was preparing for a half marathon. Now I just use them as more casual wear.
Right.
Something with a good base.
I say this because there's this narrative of the bad neighborhood. And I've been in some bad neighborhoods. I'm talking specifically about driving through a bad neighborhood.
Driving, I don't give a shit
Yeah,
about.
you kind of just like, oh, you're in a bad neighborhood. Maybe do rolling stops at the stop signs. Maybe
So they can't steal your wheels.
yeah, or like don't stop when someone's like, hey, can you roll down your window?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's naive. That's
The Bronx is pretty. Me and Owen went to the Bronx to
South
visit.
Bronx is bad.
To go to Chef Donnie's apartment.
Oh,
He used to live in the Bronx. He had a fucking mansion in the Bronx.
I bet.
And they paid like $400 a month for it.
Right.
And we went there, and that was like a neighborhood that you're like, yeah, you probably don't want to be walking around here at night. That was like, he had stories from that. He would go to the public pool and they would wake the pool. They would all chant, wake the pool.
What's that mean?
And then they'd all get in the pool and shake it around.
waves.
And then water would just be spilling out of the pool. Yeah. So that's pretty funny.
Do you know where the really bad neighborhoods of New York are? Could you
No, I have
pinpoint
no
them?
idea. I know I've driven through like some bad neighborhoods in like Queens, and like I drove through one recently that was like, it was in like Long Island City. My way of gauging it is seeing a large gathering of people and then just nothing around them. You're like, oh, that's their corner.
Right.
Like there's no cars, there's no businesses, like there's nothing around them. And like, oh, they've shut down that entire place of living. Like no one wants to live there.
I see.
So that's how I usually gauge it.
I see.
Is if it's not a busy area.
East New York is bad.
Like Upper East Side?
No. Out in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
When you go way out.
That's where Derek Drescher's from.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Got it.
Have you ever been in a bad neighborhood, Francis?
Yeah, I've been in bad neighborhoods, but as I said, I'm starting to think that people really like to, they like to play up the badness more.
Well, that's the thing is I have a hard time understanding what's a bad neighborhood because like I've been in train stops where I'm at the train station and it's me and only crackheads, but I wouldn't say it's a bad. I'm like, I don't give a shit about those guys.
No.
They're not gonna fucking do anything.
Do you ever think about
scream 1 inch away from my face?
Do you ever think if someone were trying to mug you, would you pretend to give them your wallet and then at the last second grab their arm and get wrist control and wrestle it?
No.
Is there any
don't
world
think I
where
would
if
do
someone
that.
pulled a gun on you, you would think, I'm going to try to figure out a way to take the gun?
No.
And then my question is, legally, if I managed to do that and then I took the gun and then I shot the person dead,
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
am I in trouble?
No, definitely not.
That's still self-defense, even though he doesn't have a gun anymore and I do?
Yeah, I think that's still self-defense.
I've taken
if
the
he's
gun.
still attacking you and you have the gun, it's self-defense.
Well, what if he's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, if he's begging for mercy.
I give up. I give up now.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
I go, you should have said that. You should have thought of that a while ago. Pop, pop.
And now it just sounds like murder. That's murder.
Yeah, but I earned the murder.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's how it works.
I think it is how it works.
I think you might be right. I think it is. I think you can kill someone in that situation.
Because then I could just
but
say,
I don't think I would do that.
I took the gun in a struggle, and then in the struggle, it went off, and he died.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
The problem is there are closed cameras everywhere now, especially in bad neighborhoods.
If you have the guy in a situation where you've managed to disarm him, you have the gun, and then he's like on his knees, and you shoot him execution style.
Or what if at first I say any last words?
Yeah, I think that's
Turn around.
I think that's probably murder.
Yeah.
But I don't know because there's scenarios where like people's houses get broken into, and then outside of the places where it's like they have the stand your ground laws. Like if you're in, I don't.
What
Do they
is
have?
that? Tell me what that means.
I think stand your ground laws are if someone breaks in your house, you can kill them.
Yes.
Right? I'll look it up. I don't know if I'm right about that. Yeah, I think that's
There's a lot of those states. Texas is one of those.
Texas,
for sure.
Florida.
Florida's one.
Oh wow, 28 states allow.
Wow.
There's no duty. Wait, laws in 28 states and Puerto Rico allow that there is no duty to retreat an attacker in any place in which one is lawfully present. I don't know what that means. In New York, you can use physical force to defend premises.
Dude, I don't think you have to. I think staying your ground means you don't even have to be in your home. That's what that sounds like.
If I was in
Someone
New York,
comes at you and you're just standing on the sidewalk, it's not your job to back up. If they come at you and you're just standing there, you can shoot them dead. I stood my ground. Bye. I'm fine.
isn't that what happened? That's what happened to DaBaby in Walmart.
Did it happen to DaBaby?
Yeah, I don't know what went down in that Walmart. I don't know what happened on that freeway.
He
There
says
goes
that?
that baby. He's back now. Yeah.
But isn't he in trouble right now?
No.
Oh.
No, DaBaby shot someone in a Walmart for sure.
Mm.
But I think he got off on self-defense,
Right.
which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I would be like, let's take this outside of the Walmart.
I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. Like, all these people have guns, which I'm not like pro or anti-gun, but having a gun in your apartment and then someone breaks into your apartment, how does that go? You just kill them? Like, that would be kind of fucked.
Right.
I would probably be like, hey, I have a gun. Let's take this outside so I can kill you outside.
Yeah, I don't want to clean up.
Yeah.
I don't want to clean you up.
I don't want your ghost haunting my house.
Yeah, you can't exactly call a task rabbit
Yeah.
to come take care of the body.
Because like, they're not cleaning it up. Like, the authorities arrive, they probably take the body, I'd assume.
Eventually, but they're going to take a lot of pictures and fingerprints.
Yeah.
They're not taking their shoes off when they come into your
No,
house.
but then also you have to clean the blood and shit.
Ugh. Yeah, you're going to need a maid for that.
It would come down to the last second for me to shoot somebody. Like, I'd have to be like, I'm gonna have to shoot you.
I don't want to do this.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me shoot you.
Please don't make me do this. But
I'm
if
taking
you
the
do,
safety off of the gun.
Do you know a good cleaning lady?
Yeah. Please refer me someone, or let's take this out to the street. Let's take this outside.
But that's just a journey. You're adding curveballs and variables into that moment.
Well, the thing is, if you have a gun and someone breaks into your house,
Yeah.
and it's someone, like, if they flee, I'm not going to chase you and
Right.
can kill you. And if they don't flee, it means they're probably, and if they're like still coming at you when you have the gun, they're probably on drugs. Right?
That's a big assumption. You don't know.
If you point a gun at someone, the normal sober mind is going to say, oh shit, time to do what this person says.
Or they're calling your bluff and they think you're a bitch.
And in that scenario, I'm putting fucking 5 in the chest.
Damn, dude.
Dead.
Oh, and how we doing on time?
Good. We're there.
Whoa. Fuck. Damn it.
Bruh, we're having a good conversation. You keep on
I know.
bailing
I'm
out.
sorry. I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted too. I've been up since 5:30.
I know, but like I'm falling asleep.
Well, stay awake.
I'm trying.
This is the easiest job
I keep
on earth.
sitting up higher and higher. It's because I ate so many chocolate covered almonds and I'm crashing.
Oh my god!
And then
no
on
one
the way up, I
crashes
saw
from chocolate covered almonds.
I did. I am. I had too many. I
You're
had too
allowed to
many.
be tired, but
A
don't say you're
certain amount
crashing.
would have been fine. I am dying. If you let me right now and I were to lie down here, I would be asleep in 13
I
seconds.
guarantee you wouldn't. I guarantee if we, yeah, dude. If I were to eat almonds, all chocolate covered almonds all day, every day, and got into bed at like 10 p.m., I'd be like, man, I cannot sleep. I'm
My
fucking
system's
wide
really
awake.
balanced. My blood sugar is an incredibly careful
It's a machine.
balance.
Yeah.
And if I go too high, go too low, it's a problem. I get sleepy. Immediately sleepy.
I don't get sleepy from any food.
I have a show tonight. I have a fucking 10:35 at the Cellar, which means 11, which means
so you're gonna
home-
miss the end of Game 7
I'm gonna tape
of
it.
the Cup. You're gonna tape it.
Sure. What's wrong with taping it?
That's never worked ever.
Only for you because you're on Twitter and shit all the time.
My dad used to tape the games all the time, and we would find out every single time.
because you're getting text messages and stuff. People don't text me anymore.
In New York, you can hear just based on the vibe of the city around you. You know,
maybe
Oilers must have won.
But do you live in a heavily Canadian neighborhood of New York?
I think I live in a heavily anti-Panther neighborhood. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Because
Who do you want to win?
the Oilers, obviously.
Oilers.
Because when the Rangers were playing the Panthers, I picked up on this. The Rangers were playing the Panthers, and the Rangers scored, and I heard like 4 different apartments.
That
go
is
nuts.
you're going to answer your own question here. Why is that not lend any credence to your theory that New York is an anti-Panthers neighborhood?
Because if you're a Rangers fan, you don't like the Panthers. So
Right.
obviously you would want.
But of course they're going to cheer when the Rangers score. It's New York.
Yeah, so if you're a Rangers fan, you don't like the Panthers. Unless you're a fake Rangers fan.
No, but who's to say that they care more about the Rangers or the Panthers or the
Who's ever
Oilers?
lost in the semifinals of any sport and been like, well, I hope the team that beat us goes on to win it all? That's just basic. Bro, that's basic
It's
ball.
definitely happened.
Yeah, if you're a fucking lunatic.
It's definitely
So you're a
happened.
Panthers fan.
I'm an Oilers guy.
Exactly. Everyone wants the Oilers. Also, who doesn't want to see the Oilers reverse sweep the Panthers?
Exactly. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we can't even be talking about this right now because it's already happened.
Can't believe it. I can't believe they pulled it off.
I have a wager placed. Well, I can't even talk. We can't talk about any of this. It's useless. Useless speak.
Yeah, get out of here with that.
Well, what we really can talk about is that ball is sneaking up on us like a thief in the night.
The ball?
Football.
Football?
Yeah, it's like 2 months away.
Come on.
It is.
We got a lot of summer, dude.
July, August, September. It starts in September.
What?
We're like 2 months away
Those are
from
good
football.
times ahead, pal.
Yeah.
Good times ahead.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Do you see that Trevor Lawrence just signed like the biggest quarterback deal ever?
Is that right?
Yeah. It seems like, really?
No, he's big time, dude. He's so tough.
He sucks.
He's old
He's
school.
tough. He is tough. He's tough
He's
as
really
nails.
tough. He plays through injuries. Bad ones, too.
He's tough as nails, but I don't know if he's like $275 million contract tough as nails.
Sometimes these contracts work out.
Especially when you got Mac Jones on the bench. He's looking
Jalen
like,
Brown's got the max contract for the Celtics next year. Wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Celtics win the playoffs.
Joe Burrow gets the biggest NFL contract ever. Plays 3 games the next season, injured.
Yeah.
Bengals don't even make the playoffs.
Damn. Look, it can go both ways.
I'm actually excited to watch the Bengals this year. I hope they're good.
Me too,
We
man.
need somebody to beat Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think the Bills are going to do it.
No.
I don't really even know what other teams are. I think Travis Kelce's going to suck this year. I think he probably won't play that much. He's old.
He'll do a Gronk type thing.
Yeah, I think he'll play probably like
Save him for the playoffs.
50% of the games,
I
maybe.
wonder. Yeah, limit his snaps.
The
a little
Eagles,
bit.
in theory, should be good, but with Sirianni in that locker room, I mean,
Right. Who can say?
he's awful. He's the worst. I hate him.
The worst.
I hate Sirianni. He's a thug.
Where do you want to go outside of the United States? Is there anywhere you're dying to visit? Patagonia?
I want to go to Patagonia really bad. I want to go to Rome.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Australia.
What do you want to do in Greece?
Just see it.
Parthenon?
Swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go to Venice.
I wouldn't.
I've heard it's overrated.
It's
I've heard it's
just
pricey,
awful.
too.
It's so packed and gross.
Yeah, skip Venice. I don't want to go there. Yeah, I want to go to Patagonia. That's probably top. I would like to go to Mexico. I want to go to the Bahamas. I'm going to go to the Bahamas next year.
It's a lot of places.
I'm going to the Bahamas next
you
year.
can go to Bahamas
It's
tomorrow.
cheap. Yeah,
That's
I
the
didn't
easiest
realize.
trip ever.
Dude, Rome went to the Bahamas like 2 weeks ago. I don't even know if you know that. I'm not kidding. Did you know that?
I think vaguely I knew.
Yeah, he went to the Bahamas like 2 weeks ago, and he
Yeah.
texted me, and I was like, where are you? And he's like, the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? He's like, dude, it was a 2-hour flight.
It's nothing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he's like, it was
It's gotta be
faster.
more than 2 hours.
He said it was faster than Florida.
What?
Yeah,
It's
because
gotta
you
be
just
it's
go
east?
on the ocean the
Yeah.
whole time. You don't ever go over land.
Right. Wow.
So you must just cook down there.
Wow. Damn.
But yeah, me and that's our next trip. We're already. I'm not a fan of that. But we already had the plan for the next trip. We're going to the Bahamas bone fishing.
Bone fishing. That's so hard.
It's supposed to be the hardest
It's so hard.
fly fishing.
When I went,
They call it the fish of 1,000 casts.
it's just one of those things where, like, you know,
You did that?
yeah,
Really?
No.
Oh. Funny.
I got you though.
I don't know. You've done a bunch of weird shit. It wouldn't surprise me if you did that.
Finally got him. You see that, Owen?
Fastest fish in the or one of the fastest fish in the world.
That's what
outside
they
of, like,
say.
tuna.
But when we went, they were like kind of lazy that day.
That would be awesome. It's a good day.
Yeah, bonefish.
You fish little like shrimp flies.
Yep, that's what we were throwing.
I was watching a video of a dude doing it, and then they saw a barracuda, and he was like, "I'm gonna put on my metal leader." Like he has like a,
Mm-hmm.
and he put that on. And he caught the barracuda, and it was so sick.
I've been snorkeling before and seen barracuda.
Are they scary?
A little bit.
There was like a period of time where barracuda was like one of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
And then you realize that they're like not that big.
No. Well, there's also
They're
there are
like- they're like this
barracuda
big.
that are like that, and then there are the barracuda in the sort of rivers in like South America
Yeah.
that I am more. No, those are piranhas.
Piranhas.
I'm more afraid of piranhas than I am of
Yeah.
barracuda. That's for sure.
My neighbor growing up had what is it called when you kill a fish and then they like stuff it or some shit?
Taxidermy?
Yeah, he had a taxidermied. Is that the correct way to say it?
Yep.
And he had it like in his like office or something. And I remember I would see it and it had big ass teeth, and I'd be like, "That is
Yeah.
so fucking scary."
Yeah, they're scary. There was a movie, I believe, called Piranha.
There is. I think it's kind of like a spinoff of Jaws, isn't it?
Mm.
Or it had titties in it because isn't the poster like the exact same thing as the Jaws poster, but it's a lady with titties?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the titties are heavily advertised for that movie.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah.
been one of those.
I remember I used to
things.
always see that movie on Redbox, like in the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah.
Piranha.
All
Let's
right.
see. Well, we're not done just yet.
Why not?
Got to take a look at the piranha. Yeah, I used to always see this in the grocery store and stop and stare.
Show me the cover. Oh yeah.
Very
Mhm.
similar to Jaws. Very Jaws-esque.
Yeah. Mhm.
Except instead of one shark, she has like 15 piranhas.
Well, they're
under
quite
her.
small.
They're very small.
Yeah. Mhm.
Again, another one of those things that you really just don't need to be scared of.
No.
Unless you're floating out in the center of the ocean. It's a comedy. It's got a 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
Not great.
Have you ever seen the alternate cover? It's ass. Ass instead of titties. They really got their money's worth with this model.
They knew how to cover their
All right.
bases.
Let's do a secondary angle.
Huh.
We're gonna want to get an ass shot in here. All right. That has been Son of a Boy. Hey guys, I'm gonna be in Austin, Texas in a couple weeks. The Vulcan
Gas Company, good spot.
Vulcan Gas Company, top spot, right close by the mothership. Probably gonna have to stop by, see the fellas.
Mm-hmm.
LittleSasquatchWebsite.com for those tickets. Thank you. Goodbye.